the Derby's getting closer. Bruce is here to give you a complete preview, including Thursday morning's draw for post position.
It is going to be fun. It's finally here, the 115th running of the Kentucky Derby. All eyes will be on the big horse, Easy Goer. Derby is never an easy race. It's a big field with some pretty good talent. You just never know what's going to happen in a horse race. Mike Hartnett takes a look at some of the contenders.
Many of racing's experts have been touting Easy Goer as the next Secretariat. The Kentucky Derby favorite is 3 for 3 this year. In the Gotham Stakes, he missed a world record by a fifth of a second. He appears to be the perfect blend of speed, power, and grace.
This is a horse with a lot of talent. He's got a lot of composure about him. He's a big, strong, really well-bred horse. And, you know, I think that if he goes out there and runs as well as he's supposed to, that somebody's going to have a hard time beating him.
So far this year, everything has come easy for Easy Goer. But in the run for the Roses, he'll meet up against the toughest opposition of his career.
It's awe-inspiring with the lead by a half length.
Easy Goer's main competition could come from stablemate Awe-Inspiring, winner of the Flamingo. His recent morning works have inspired Shug McGahee to run a Derby entry. Hall of Fame trainer Charlie Whittingham, who won the Derby Roses in 1986, is back with Sunday Silence, a speedy colt who's coming off an 11-length victory in the Santa Anita Derby.
Well, I was pretty confident of Ferdinand, but this one I think we're in just as good a shape. He's got much more speed than Ferdinand had.
Western Playboy is not a speedball, but he has plenty of heart. His courageous closing kick could come in handy during that 1.25 mile Derby distance. Wayne Lucas, who won last year's Derby with the filly winning colors, will go after the Roses with a colt. Houston, who scored an impressive victory last Saturday in Churchill Downs Derby trial, has never won beyond a mile. But Lucas defends this son of Seattle Slews.
Now, a lot of people think he isn't seasoned enough. He won't get 2 turns. They think it's asking too much and everything. But that's just, that's all speculation.
And the speculation will continue up to post time, when Easy Goer is expected to be one of the Kentucky Derby's biggest favorites ever. This is Mike Hartnett reporting for the Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest.
Thanks, Mike. Just can't wait. Well, the Kentucky Derby draw for post positions has become a big event during Derby week. Let's face it, with a big field, post position becomes very, very important. Let's take a look now at the draw and the morning line odds for the big race. It's a much larger field than most would have thought, with Easy Goer so impressive throughout the year. Easy Goer, the big favorite, of course. He's last year's 2-year-old champion. He's undefeated in his 3-year-old campaign. Other challengers have really developed over the past few races, horses like Western Playboy and Sunday Silence. It should be an exciting race. Remember, the last time Easy Goer ran at Churchill Downs, he finished second on an off-track in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Saturday's Kentucky Derby marks the start of the 1989 Triple Crown Series, the toughest, most demanding series of races for horses and people. Louis Russell experienced those pressures last year with Risen Star, the Preakness and Belmont winner. And we talked with him recently about those pressures and the preparations for the Triple Crown.
The horse has to be a top horse because he has to carry his own track with him. He can't get used to one track and hope to do well. It's a lot of pressure for the owners, a lot of pressure for the trainer. The horse that keeps improving after the Derby, then to the Preakness, and then keeps improving after the Preakness is the horse that's going to win these races. He has to keep improving. He just can't have an edge on him for the Derby and hope to hold him for the Preakness and Belmont. He has to keep getting better and better every race.
Well, there's more than just a horse race going on in Kentucky Derby this week. This is also a week for those famous Derby parties. Chris Lincoln visited with Mary Lou Whitney on preparations for her party this Friday that has become one of the Derby traditions.
That's right, and the Derby parties are really very special, and that's what we're standing here and looking at. This is going to be our Derby party, and we're expecting about 220 people for dinner and dancing with fortune tellers and, well, all of the great people of racing.
And, of course, this is a party you actually inherited.
Yes, Elizabeth Arden had this night, Friday night, and when I first came here 31 years ago, I had to have it on Tuesday night. So when she died, her legacy to me was she left me her party list, her tablecloths, and Friday night.
Oh, yes, the fun continues. More Derby festivities surrounding the run for the Roses. This from tiny Paris, Kentucky, the heart of thoroughbred breeding country. This small community just outside of Lexington is the self-proclaimed thoroughbred breeding capital of the world. Many of the major farms have decked out downtown Paris with street banners and beautiful window displays. Almost looks like Christmas. The town and farms are definitely worth a visit if you're heading to Louisville this week for the Kentucky Derby. And Chris, Chris Antley's streak ends at 64 in New York. That's a tough one. And a sad note now, trainer Joe Manzi has passed away in California in his sleep.
Thank you, Bruce. Tribute to Joe Manzi, and then back with our first race recap. Stay with us.